Alright, this is my third time doing this video. I have a headache. But I'm doing it for you guys. So, I'm gonna go into my Procreate. Okay. Ignore all the not made, not finished art. That's what happens when you get frustrated with art. And I'm going to tell y'all some tips in this video to not get frustrated with art so that you can continue making them. Anyways. So, I'm just going to do a freaking full-on explanation on how I did everything in here. So, let's go and turn everything off except for the outline. Bam. I erased the eyeball. That is okay. So, this is the outline. I always start off with it. I do sketch. Hidden there. Shut up. Go to this. I do sketch. See? Sketch. So it looks like a pencil. And I sketch it out. What I usually do is I either draw on the paper in real life, and then I sketch it out on here. I just import the, picture, go here. I usually do private photo, and I import the picture. Or I will take reference photos from other things, either real life things that I'm basing stuff off of, or I do, because real life is just kind of hard to do it. Life is hard, so I don't do it too much. I don't do real life art. So then I will either do one or two things. Take a just rough draft of a sketch, of a reference sketch that someone made, like just legit reference photos, the ones that don't even have faces or any details. It is literally just the body, and then I will piece them together like some sort of Frankenstein. Like if I like the arms on one drawing, I will take that off of that drawing and then put it on the body of another. So like with this one, if I did it that way, I would have took the arms off of probably a male drawing and then put it on a female's body. But for this one in particular, there was a drawing in this pose that I really liked. Let's see if I can do... Nope. If I can do... Insert photo. It is this one. So I really liked that. I don't know who this artist is. That is their logo. So I really liked that. So I basically just decapitated it, cut off its tail, and used just the body. I also put different clothing on it, and obviously I put horns on it. I made it into a rose. So I basically just took it because I liked the body, but I didn't like how the face was, the eyes were. Not that this drawing isn't good. This drawing is really good, but I just didn't, it's not my style. I also like how she was throwing something in the back. I like that, so I put the hat there. But I took off this drawing. I took the arms and the body, and then the shoes, basically. And then I drew the rest of it, like the face, the tail, the skirt, the shirt, hat, all of that. Pretty easy to do. Bam, bam. Where was I getting at? Okay, so that's how I started off. Sketched over it, made my own version of it, and of course, given props to that artist. They are very good with their art, but I just wanted the position. So then after I did that, I did the eye. That looks so fucking silly. I'm sorry. What is that face? Oh my god. Okay. Oh my god, that was amazing. Okay. So I did the eye next. Because I wanted that cool profile picture. But obviously that was before I deleted the outside. And then, so I took a break within a lot of stuff. I did not do these in the order that I'm saying it really, because what really happened was I was drawing and then I got frustrated with the tail. I got like extremely frustrated with the tail, so I was just like, I'm not doing this right now. I did not hate myself. So then I went on to coloring. So then I first did the clothes, and then I did this, and then I did the roses. So this was how, wait, where's the teeth? Right there. This is how it basically looked when I was sending pictures. And it looks alright, it looks good. Right here, this, I will show you how I did that right now. So if I go over here, then take another one, then go up to this little thing up here. It has different brushes you can use for it. I like to use a softer brush because I don't like the hard lines. It just looks crappy to me. If you figure out how to do it, then that's good. So I use the charcoal, the 4B compressed, because the other one's a little too spaced out. So I'll show you the difference. This is the one I used for this whole drawing, all of right here. So if I, hold on, so get the length that you want. If I do this and just keep going over it for a little bit, make sure that the line is not visible anymore, and then you go the other way and bring that darker, are these purples? Okay, so lighter purple, go up, darker purple, come down, but do not go, do not go over these lines right here, because those lines are going to stay. That's how, if you go over them, then it's going to look patchy. And what that looks like is if you do this, it just looks kind of smudged. So if you ever need to, take these lines down a bit, then make sure to go across the whole thing, just straight down. Don't try to keep your pen straight so that you can just erase it completely. You don't want to leave any mark of it up at the top, because then there's going to be patches of the light purple and the dark purple that you don't need. So just keep doing it until you're happy. The way I did it is I made sure that there were obvious streaks. So like that. This one, the 2B, is a little bit too spread out. So as you can see, these have like this dark, it's obviously a streak, right? But if I do the 2B, oh, that's too big. 2B is too big. Okay, right here. Then it just, this is what I would use for a different kind of texture. So like if I wanted to put blush on skin. So let me get a skin tone. Skin tones are always in the orange or yellow, except for even with, any color. So skin tone right here, that's probably about mine. I am pasty right now. And then if I go over to the pink and just get a little bit of pink, put it right there. Oh. Put it right there. Then I would be able to sprinkle it with a little bit of blush. You see that? So it looks like it's blushing. And then if I want to get rid of this, I can just go over it and then go back to the smudge and go down. And then it will be a little blush spot. See what I mean? So going back on these is hard because you do so many strokes. That's how I did. Hold on, I messed up. I didn't do it on a freaking separate thing. There we go. That's how I did these lines. It takes so long. It's mainly why a lot of my art takes so long to do, because of those lines. So at that point, I have it like the white of the eye. There we go. At that point, I have it like this, and then I put in the words "Pretty girls can fight too," and then the background. Don't know how to do backgrounds too good, but that's fine. And then I put in the shading. So, as you can see, there's a huge difference from this to this. And I love seeing that. Because if you ever are like, man, I don't think I'm doing good on this. I don't think this is really adding to the art. Or this isn't how I wanted it. Just, make it to where you can't see it. And if you're like, oh, wait. And then you look at it like, oh, no, it looks so much better with that. That is one thing that can help you. I do that all the time because I'm like, oh, I don't know if I like it with this. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, that makes the eyeball look like an eyeball. Makes it have some depth. But let me go on to the shading and like how I figured out where I'm gonna put the shading. So what I did was why is this okay? I'm sorry. What I did was, first you gotta find out where your light is coming from. I wanted it to be head on the chest area. Sorry, I just circled her boobie. The chest area. So like the pinpoint of the light will be right here on her bicep, I believe that is. Pardon me. So anything that is right here has shadowing going back, because this is the area that hits the light the most. So anything that's surrounding it is in shadow. Whereas things down here, we'll take this part for example, does not have shadowing up at the top, but it does have shadowing at the bottom. That's because now the light is hitting it from down. So think of it this way. The light is pinpointed right here. So, except for right here, don't pay attention to that because I just wanted it to look more detailed. So, originally what you would do is anything that is curved, well, I guess this makes sense because it's curved, and it shows where the where the fur is separated. Anything that is curved It's going down like that. That's why this has so much shadow right here. This has shadow. The toes, the toes right here, since the light is hitting it from dead on, the toes are going to have shadow on this side, but not this side, because the light is on this side of the toe. Same with these ones over here. Light is on this side. These sides don't have light. And then, where's the blood? There it is. Nope, that's not all of the blood. There it is. The snarl, I had help from my friend. Let me see there. Give them a little bit of a shout out, I guess. I don't know if they have a YouTube channel. If they did, I would definitely shout it out. Because they helped me with the lines on the nose. I could not figure that out. Local Luka is their Discord. But they helped me out a lot, and they have pretty good art. I would say it's really amazing. They helped me out a lot with the nose. My friend, I'll give another shout out, I guess. My friend Turlux also helped me with seeing, I guess being a critiquer. I would send it to her and she would critique my work, and whatever she says, kind of goes. She's pretty good at art too. So, if she were to say, oh, well, it looks kind of weird with these roses right here, I'd find a different place for the roses. She helped out a lot as well. So, another thing to do, back on topic, sorry about that, back on topic, another thing to do with the outline is, so with the face, the light is hitting right here, and right here mainly. This is where the light is, I guess, where I envisioned it. So, there's going to be a longer shadowing right here because the light is bouncing off. So, shadowing behind the ear, behind the head is going to be a lot thicker. Shadowing on the snarls, because those aren't like huge lines, I made it to where they were just thin. I drew it. Then I'd take my eraser and kind of erase it like this. And then go over the top and make sure it has a thick middle. And then that's how I did that. Teeth. Your teeth. But I want to talk about the arm and the tail. So with the arm and the tail, these points right here, this, and this are all away from the light for the most part. Don't pay attention to the rose. The rose is about to go against anything that I'm about to tell you, but I like how it looks, so it makes me happy. So the light, it's hitting these parts. So when it comes to these parts up here, those ones, you want the light to not like abruptly end, I guess. You want it to gradually get smaller. So right here, the thumb is the closest part to the light. That one has more lighting. Then it goes less, and then 0. The glove, most lighting, thick outlines with the shadows, thicker outline with the shadow than it is down here. More shadowing on the underside. This one doesn't really have that much. So with the tail, light all right here, but as you get off to the shadows, becomes less light on on the spikes. Another thing to keep in mind when you do spikes, shadowing is literally everything with spikes. If I do not have shadowing on these spikes, they just kind of look weird, right? They just look like, I don't know, Hershey Kisses. They look weird. So putting the shadow on the spikes shows which direction is which. So it doesn't just look like this is a teardrop. Without, okay, yeah, look at this one. Without it, it's just a weird little teardrop. But with the shadowing, it's a spike. Oh, I got it fixed down there. With the fur, I always do the shadowing within where the fur is separated. So like right here, you can see that that's a lock of fur. These are a lock of furs. This, all of it is a different lock of fur. The clothes, I usually just use it on either creases or the rounding, where it rounds, creases. Another thing to look at is, hold on. So I think I already said this. It's either I already said this in this one or I said it in a different one. But when the light is hitting right here, you don't need it on the top. You only need it on the bottom, the shadowing. If you want to put it on the top, you can. You know, I'm not going to tell you how to do art, but that's just how I do it. I explain the toes. Black and white shadowing is pretty difficult. Usually what I would do is if I want white, I do not use full-on white. I usually go all the way up here, then go down a little bit. And trust me, it doesn't look like much right now, but if I were to draw over it, it would be a lot. So then, if you were ever to do lighting, you can use full-on white for that lighting. Black, same thing. Go all the way down, but then go up a little bit. Then you can do shadowing. But because this is Unis Honest, and Unis Honest is white and black, I didn't know what to do. So I just did, which made it easier for me because, as you can see, whenever I take this off, this leg barely has any shadowing. And that's alright with me. So that's basically everything. I explained how I did that. Yes. Alright, so I think that's basically everything. That's everything I can think of right now that I use to do this art. Filling in, I always use paint because you don't get, so like right now it's small little pixels. So it looks like a thick line. Even when it's small, it looks good. But if I were to do, this, it has a bit of a, right here, it doesn't, it doesn't color all the way. So you'd have to do that, and it doesn't have a rounded tip, and I like rounded tips whenever I draw, because the sharp edges can just get in the way. Well, that looks cool. Look at that. Anyways, whenever you do fill in, you gotta make sure it is connecting. And then you can drag, I didn't even explain what I was doing. Right over here, you can drag it down and go over to where you want it to fill. If you go, I don't want that to be black, I want it to be orange, do the same thing. If you... Sorry, I'm doing a lot of uhs. Just trying to cover everything. So if you do that, switching back, and you're like, you do this, but then you just leave a little bit, just like the tiniest bit. Oh, a little less than that. I guess that's technically connecting. If you just leave a little bit, bam, it's all gray. So you gotta make sure you can connect it. And sometimes this app, I'm using Procreate. I'm sure other people who use Procreate have the same freaking problem. Sometimes this app will not see that a line is there, and it will just color everything. And it is frustrating because you're like, where is this line? This is a big piece that I am just trying to color in. I really don't want to color it in by hand. I just want to drag my color down to it. I had to deal with that over here because right here, it kept going everywhere. But I even went over each line, and I was like, okay, well, that's fully covered in, but then it just wouldn't do it. So then, with the time that I spent trying to find the line, it would have just been easier to color it all in. But sometimes I get lazy. And I don't want to do it. So, just a little heads up. That's basically everything that I can think of right now. Again, if y'all have any other questions, go to the comments. Let me know. Just a little recap about the shading, because that's what I'm mainly making this video for, is to help people with the shading. Find out where your light source is. Go based off of that, which direction it is going to shine on. Anything that is back, to give it depth, no light. No light. Anything that is up the most, put all the light. Anything that is rounded, put light. Anything that is folded, anything that has the light coming down, make sure you don't have to put it up top, but if you want to, you can. Anything that has edges, make sure to put the shadowing on the edges. Fur, make sure to have the locks separated so that you can tell it's different locks of fur. And yeah, that's everything. Isn't that a beautiful drawing? I drew a little face right here. Anyway, my Uzians, that is it. My latest drawing, just kind of helping y'all out. I love y'all. Have a magical night, and I do hope y'all's drawing gets better. Goodbye.